it can't be that bad. How it hurts me pretty baby when I see you sitting there so sad. Don't need to worry about tomorrow, and yesterday is gone. So raise your chin up, girl, and we will work our problems out one by one. Hold me tight, don't let go. Turn me loose, never no, no, no. We'll stand our problems all in a row. Watch them fall like dominoes. Falling like dominoes. Oh, pretty baby, dry your eyes, don't you know it can't be that bad? Oh, how it hurts me, pretty baby, when I see you sitting there so sad. But they will laugh and sing and say that everything's alright. So let's not worry about tomorrow while we got each other here tonight. Hold me tight, don't let go. Turn me loose, never no, no, no. We'll stand our problems all in a row. Watch them fall like dominoes. Falling like dominoes. Pretty baby, dry your eyes, don't you know it can't be that bad? How it hurts me, pretty baby, when I see you sitting there so sad. Don't need to worry about tomorrow, and yesterday is gone. So raise your chin up, girl, and we will work our problems out one by one. Hold me tight, don't let go. Turn me loose, never no, no, no. We'll stand our problems all in a row. Watch them fall like dominoes. Falling like that.
Yes, yes, yes. It's your boy Big Rich the Ruler. I'm in the building, yo, Saturday. Pre-Father's Day little situation, and I'm in the building. Feeling real good to be here. Big Al, what up? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling. What's up?
Yeah, man. Pre-Father's Day situation, we up here.
Absolutely.
And you know we getting ready for, it's next week, right? Okay, I ain't got to say no more. You know what I mean? Next week is Big Rich the Ruler birthday, so, we're going to do something real serious up here next week. What's good with you, though? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good, man.
Hey, yo, Al, man, a lot of things been going on in the last week, man. A lot of things, so we got to get into it,
Oh, absolutely.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Yo, last night, I was at work, and a few officers came through last night, and we was talking about good cop, bad cop. And like they were saying, not all cops are bad, Al. The ones that I was talking to last night, we all had a good conversation, and we was talking about the situations that's going on out here, that's going on like in Atlanta, what's going on in Louisville and all that. When you talk to these cops and you sit down and you really get to really know these cops, like I said, not all cops are bad cops. And I run across a lot of good cops where I work at. And we all get to talking all the time, and they don't even agree about what's going on out here. The looting and all that stuff. They felt like that was something that was going to happen anyway. You know what I mean? People just needed a reason, to get out there and do what they do. But as far as saying that every cop is a bad cop, that's definitely not a true statement. And we was talking about that last night. One of the officers was saying that his wife is even an officer, and she's way out there in Brooklyn, and he fears for her every day. Well, like I told him, if he's covered by the blood of Jesus, and they living the right life, just pray on that, and everything should be fine.
Right.
Now let me get something straight right now. So you came to me this week and you said something that I ain't like. I got to check you on it early, early in the show. You was like, family members watched the show last week, and when you was into the word, I was on my cell phone, Al.
Right.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We not gonna do that, Al. I had to go back and look at the tape, You always talking about, well, don't let me pull it back up. So I had to go back and check it out. Now, what happened was, let me tell you what happened.
Now you're going to explain yourself. Okay.
What had happened was, while you was praying, I got a text, and I peeked over and looked and make sure it wasn't nothing so serious, and got back into the word now, because once again, if my mama would have seen me do that, she'd have got on me too now. When the word is going on, you got to be into the word. What you say?
Yeah. But like I said, I didn't even notice it. My sister pointed it out to me.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
man.
crazy. Hey, Al, so let me tell you something that's crazy to me. I have a man in my building, and ever since I was I know this man for at least 30 years, Al. Mm-hmm. And ever since I've known this man, everybody told me that he's a financial genius. He was a big accountant downtown on Wall Street, had his own firm, and then he retired, and he does people income tax and all that. But Al, one thing about this man, you never see him. Al, he hardly ever comes out of his apartment. He gets his food delivered, the mail lady and all that stuff. He has a special box in front of the door where he get packages and everything. I don't hardly ever see, I can't remember the last time I seen him outside. Mm-hmm. So, the other day I came home and another couple from my floor, we was all in the hallway talking. And we was, talking about him because, like I said, he's a financial genius and he's always, giving people advice and all that stuff. So my neighbor told me that she had told him that I had an internet radio station.
Right.
Well, let me say a partner of an internet radio station. Mm-hmm. And the young man I was talking to on the floor, he was like, yo, that's crazy, because the man that he was talking to, I don't want to say his name on the radio, but the man that he was talking to was saying that that's the best investment that you can get into right now. So I said, what are you talking about? He was saying because all these major corporations are closing down. TJ Maxx and Mordell's and all these big stores, they're not able to sell the commercials are not getting to the big stations anymore.
Right.
They're going to the internet stations because everything is bought online now. So the situation that we're in right now, he's saying is one of the smartest investments that you can get into right now, because of everybody now has to do everything online.
Right.
So he said that he told my neighbor that one day this week he's gonna ring my bell and he wants to talk to me about the station, because investment groups and stuff like that is what he do. He finds these investments to advertise their stuff and stuff like that.
Right.
So, and I was like, wow, it was really like crazy that he was like, you really need to sit down with this man for a few minutes and see what he's talking about. So when he was talking about that, I went inside, and just sure enough, as he said it, I seen that TJ Maxx allegedly, Mordell's is definitely not going to open back up, and a lot of major corporations are not opening back up now.
Right.
Because I think it's more of the pandemic than, I don't think they were just doing as well financially even before the pandemic, right, Al? So now these stores are shutting down, and the major radio stations are not getting the advertisements, and they're going to have to start shutting down too, and start getting into this internet situation, which we already got a jump start on now because we out here. You know what I'm saying, Al?
Right.
So it's more, to me, it's more right now of more of us getting our feet more into the major corporation world, and so when you was talking to me about 2 weeks ago, and we was talking about the DJ situations, getting the major DJs over here and stuff like that, it's all falling into place, like you were saying, Al. Like, you can't rush a situation that you know that's going to be great in the days.
Right.
And right now, this Our Access radio station, yo, I mean, we're looking so much better. We got the team, we got the shows coming in. I mean, everything that we visualized back then are starting to come to front. But now, the thing that I want to ask from you, Al, is when we start talking about like these major corporations and stuff like that. Say they came to us with the wanting us to do their advertisement and stuff like that. Saying, all right, let me give you an example. Like Mordell. Say Mordell was to say, you know what, we want to open back up, but we want to do everything online through our Access Radio. How does that work, Al?
Okay, so first of all, we'll sit down and try to develop a package for them that will go along with their marketing and their promotion plan.
Okay.
Right, and with that, of course, there's going to be a negotiation on what the price point will be, and how long of a series we're going to carry that product in that store.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
again, what that does for us is it create jobs and revenue right here in the community
Okay.
where we could be able to put back money into the community.
Okay, now, do you see, like what my neighbor is saying, do you see what he's saying when he's saying, like, as all these major corporations are closing down and like these major radio stations are not going to be able to get the advertisement, so they're going to have to close down soon. Do you see that coming to a forefront soon too?
Well, I don't know as far as the radio stations closing down, because there's some major players out there with some big engines, and I'm gonna name them like iHeart. You know what I mean? They're a big situation. Radio One is a big situation. Oh man, I forgot the other one here in New York. But see, they got money to spend. They got situations. They do real big advertisement for a lot of money. You know what I mean? So you gotta have the money to be able to get an advertisement on those stations. Where we come into play is that our price point is affordable.
Okay.
So now those companies that's opening back up and they're really budgeting so that they don't have to spend all their budget on marketing and promotion, they could look at an entity like us and look at our viewership and see how our arms are extended out there and how many different avenues we have available that they could step into. That's why being on streaming TV was so important for us. You know, a lot of people were so inundated with the Facebook and the Instagram and those type of things and the YouTube, but there are other avenues where it allowed people to broaden themselves as a brand, and that's what we're doing.
Okay, so now we're streaming live on Roku, Apple, Fire TV, we're on YouTube, Facebook, we're on Alexa, Simple Radio, Periscope, all these major networks that we're dealing with now, right? Say like all these shows and all these major networks that we're dealing with now. As far as that, to come up on that, does that help us in the long run or does that help us now?
Well, initially, my concentration was let's stay focused on one area and get our numbers up.
Right.
But today's audience is fickle. Social media is fickle. So people are all over the place. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube, they're on streaming TV, they're on these different apps, and if we only focusing on one area, let's say just our website, then we don't get a chance to extend ourselves to those other audiences in those areas.
Gotcha.
Each one of those areas have a certain audience of
Gotcha.
1 million plus. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So if we get 1% of each area, then we're doing good.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's why it's important to diversify our outlook as far as where people can capture us at. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So a lot of people be like, well, I don't like YouTube. Okay, well, we got Facebook. Well, I don't like Facebook. Well, we got the TuneIn app. Well, I don't like that. And so forth and so on. But there's alternatives for them. They can choose where they want to view us at or where they want to listen to us at.
Okay. Now, I was checking out, I always do my homework on things that happen in the week. And in Louisville, Kentucky, the police had another situation where it was a shooting, wrongful shooting. The young lady was a nurse. That's the crazy part about it. They bust into a house, and I guess she must have moved wrong, and the young lady shot. They shot 18 times into the house.
Oh, Jesus.
She was a frontline online worker for this pandemic, and come to find out the person that they was looking for was already in custody, Al.
Wow.
They went bust in the house, and I guess looking for somebody, and the person that they was looking for allegedly was already in custody. Now here we go with another police shooting, Al, and you really can't have a justification on what they're doing out here, just busting into these people's houses. And yeah, Al, it's really getting serious out here with this police situation. I mean, as well as even the young lady in Atlanta.
Right.
Once again, another shooting where it was a wrongful shooting. Like, how are they training these officers out? I mean, even if a person moves wrong, when you go to somebody's house and you don't see the person that you're looking for, how do you go about just starting this gunfiring and all this stuff? Because all of this is getting to the point where people are really not trusting police these days. So, I mean, where are we going wrong with this, Al? Is it the training, or, I mean, what is it?
Well, again, like I said on earlier show, it has nothing to do with the training. Listen, you got a law enforcement background. You know that there's certain training that you need, and that you need to at least be able to complete your law enforcement certification. And then on top of that, once you're on the job, you have policies, rules, and regulations that you must follow. And there's guidelines, there's processes in place. Now, we have people that's overzealous who overlook those things and they wind up getting in trouble. Then we have this other thing that's called common practice, which has nothing to do with policy, procedures, or anything. Mm-hmm. They do things because they see other people do it, mm-hmm. okay? And nobody corrects you in the process of the common practice, which is a downfall in law enforcement, because your partner pulls out his gun every time you see him as responding to something, now you start doing it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And now, the first thing you do, because you're so nervous and you already got your gun pulled, is you pull the trigger. And once you pull the trigger, everybody else is going to start shooting because they think it's a serious situation.
Okay, now on a situation like that, say me and you, we're partners, and we're going to a crime scene, and you pull out a gun and you start shooting, and I don't shoot. When it comes times for us to go into our captains or who we have to report into, why is the other officer getting in as much trouble as he did if he didn't shoot, or if he did shoot? Why is the other officer, your partner, getting as much trouble as the person who did it?
Well, here's the thing. You respond to an incident together. So before you even get there should be some communication. Like, okay, this is what we're responding to. Is it a physical force type thing? Is it excessive force type thing? Okay, you got to have that process in your mind before you even get to the destination. Mm-hmm. Okay, then when you get there, you got to say, okay, are we going to handle this thing verbally, or is it a detrimental situation where we have to bring this person in? Mm-hmm. Okay, and if that's the case, you're supposed to call for the correct backup. Okay, a lot of times in these situations, you want a supervisor on board to justify that you're doing what you're supposed to do according to the training you received.
Okay. Now, I'm glad you said that just now. So, a young lady asked me last week when we was talking protocols, as far as when I was telling you what I seen down on Webster a couple of weeks ago, protocols. Okay, so in training, right? Mm-hmm. When we go to these trainings, like you said, there's certain guidelines that we know we're supposed to do. So here we go. I'm an officer, Al. I pull up on you, right? You're in the car and I pull up on you. What are you supposed to do as a person? Let's clear this up on the air right now. What are you supposed to do when a police officer pulls you over for the first time?
Okay, so first thing what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the engine off, mm-hmm. right? I'm gonna place my hands on the dashboard. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sit there, don't move, and wait for that officer to approach me and ask me the questions he needs to ask.
Okay, so now I was watching a lot of videos this week, and a lot of people, you know, the younger people these days, they're realizing that when a police officer pulls you over, they can also ask for a supervisor or somebody in charge of them. Now, right. What is the protocol on that? Why are they able to do that? And I just want to clear these things up so people know out here. I know why, because like you said, we train for this.
Right.
But why are people able now to ask for a superior officer over the person that just pulled you over?
Because again, if you know in your heart to heart that you have no reason, that police officer has no reason for pulling you over, mm-hmm. no matter, especially if he tells you, oh, I pulled you over for this. Oh, no, I want to see a supervisor, you know, because you know better. And you don't want to see when somebody comes and accuse you of something, you don't want to be going back and forth with them about what you think is right and wrong, because they pulled you over. They're going to always feel like they're right. Right? So the supervisor's supposed to come in with a clear head, right, unbiased, and do an assessment of the situation and tell you whether or not the officer is in his right legally to stop you and say what he's saying, or the officer made a mistake. See, but a lot of times they don't want to admit to the mistake.
Okay, let me tell you, since we're talking true stories, I'm going to tell you a funny example of what happened to me. I think I told you this story, just me and you was talking one day. I was in Mount Vernon one day, and one of my very good friends, God rest his soul, I always say his name while I'm up here, Stan Strong, was the head detective up in Mount Vernon. And I had just left the Mount Vernon Police Department because of going by to visit him, and we was talking. So on my way back to the Bronx, I got pulled over by two Mount Vernon police. And when they pulled me over, Al, I got nervous because of the way they rolled up on me. I did. So they jumped out they was in DT cars. So they jumped out the vehicle. They both came on both sides, and it was a female officer and a male officer. So the female officer to me was very aggressive. And she was like, license and registration. No. I said, excuse me, miss. May I ask why you pulled me over? And she said, no, I asked the question. And I'm like, whoa. But you can see that the male officer wanted to back up off of all this. He didn't really want no parts of this. He was like, okay. So she was like, license and registration. So I pulled out my license and registration. And I asked her again. I said, miss, once again, may I ask you, why did you just pull me over? And she said it again. No, I asked the question. Let me go check out and make sure they got no. So he stood there, and she went back to the vehicle. I said, sir, I just left your headquarters with a fellow man, a friend of mine, and I just want to know what happened. So he said, where you just left? So I told him I was just with, boom. He said, well, listen, basically he wanted to cop out on this one. He was like, well, listen, let her do what she has to do. I said, well, why are you doing that? You mind if I make a phone call? And I called them. I was like, yo, they just pulled me over. She didn't tell me what was going on. Anyway, to make a long story short, Al, he walks to her now while she's getting back out the vehicle and explain to her what I just did. So she was on some, okay, and so I was still on the phone with him when she walked back up to my window. So when she walked back to my window, I had it on speaker, and he said, well, ask her, what is she pulling you over for? So now she's seeing that I'm really on the phone with this guy.
Right.
So she was like, well, his light is out. And you could look on the other officer's face that my light wasn't out. So I said, well, am I able to get out and see? She said, I'm telling you, your light is out. So my friend said, well, you know what? Give me a few minutes. I'm out in the street. I'll be over there. She was like, no, we can really leave. Boom, boom, boom. So she calls herself giving me the ticket. And she was trying to get off, trying to get out of there. By the time she did that, my partner had them pulled up to the scene. And was no light out or anything. So because she wrote the ticket, I had to still go to the court. It was thrown out and everything. But she got in trouble for what the situations what she did. Now that's what I'm saying, bad cop, good cop, because let me show you what I'm talking about. The male officer didn't want no part of what she was doing. I don't know what happened that day. Did she have a bad day or whatever the case may have been? But it was a bad cop, good cop. You get what I'm saying, Al?
Right.
So it's always situations out there when you see cops and they getting themselves in a situation. Not every cop is a bad cop. And once again, I'm not saying that the lady officer was a bad cop. She could have had a bad day. It could have been something else what it was. And when I spoke to Stan about it, he was explaining to me that that's not how she is. So I don't know. Like I said, it could have been a bad day, bad situation. And after a while, a couple of months later, it's funny because the young lady came down to my club. She came down to Mingles. And we both, well, she apologized first, and then I apologized because she felt like, why did I call him? You get what I'm saying, Al? Right. She was like, why did you call him? But I was like, yo, because you're telling me that I can't get out. You can't tell me what's going on. I can't get out the vehicle. I wanted to see what was going on, as well as your partner looked like he didn't want any part of this situation. So once again, the whole thing was thrown out. She apologized, and we moved on for it. But that's what I always use that as an example of a bad cop, good cop. People go through things. You never know what people are going through out here these days. So when people are in,
but that's no excuse, Rich.
it's not it's not an excuse,
Right.
Al.
When she's supposed to be out here serving the public, and then on top of that, her actions was overzealous. I can understand if you ever ran a red light, or you turned a corner, did something wrong, or you was driving erratically. Then if she approached you and she was a little overzealous, it's because she's nervous because she think you might be up to something. But for her just to pull you over and then make up a lie about you having a light out, I don't think that's right. Again, but see, you got to look at this. She might have been the veteran officer. That's why the officer didn't want to say anything. You know what I mean? So coming from a law enforcement perspective, you know what that's like. So the rookie officer is never going to try to check a senior officer out in public. They might talk about it later, but right there on the scene, they're not going to say nothing. Wow. You know, so, and that's the sad part about it. You know, it's about people being accountable for their own actions out there when they're out here supposed to be doing their job. Right. You know, and they're not accountable. You know, that training is real simple. It's real cut and dry. It tells you what you can do and what you cannot do. It tells you what excessive force is. It tells you what non-excessive force is. It tells you that when a person ceases their actions, you're supposed to cease your actions. So again, when there's no threat, there's no reason for you to pull a gun.
iAccess Radio, Big Rich the Ruler, who I'm talking to.
Hello?
Yeah, iAccess Radio, may I help you?
Yeah, this Rich?
Yeah, this is Big Rich. Who's this?
This Pete.
Oh! What up, Pete? What's good with you?
What's going on, man?
Hey, Al, now let me tell you who this is on the phone right here. This is my man, Big Pete, who I used to work for back in the days after I was working downtown. And he was the one who really got me into doing all this entertainment, because we had a show called the Underground Video Squad, and he was the producer and everything. So, what up, Big Pete?
Not much, man. What's going on with you?
Everything is good, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna need you to come through one day, man. You know, check out the situation. Me and my partner, Big Al, we here. It's a radio station that we done have for about 5 years now, and we're doing pretty good on the internet. And like I said, I got some more work that we got to do together. So we definitely got to get together, Pete. What's going on with you, man?
No, lots of things.
It's funny because I hate to bring bad news. I think I texted you a couple of weeks ago that Daniel passed away. Due to
and you know that's so funny you say that, because just the other day I was going to call you and ask you what's up with that guy.
Yeah, Daniel passed away due to the COVID, man. About a week.
Really?
Yeah, about a week and a half ago, man. Daniel's gone, man. I text you.
Nah, I didn't even get that, but I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man. Daniel's buddy naked gone, man. Yeah, man. But
yeah,
it's a sad situation. But when I'm gonna get you up here, I gotta get you up to the Bronx. Where you at? You still in Jersey? Where you at now?
Right now I'm in Florida.
Florida? Oh my God, you do too much, man. Well, I'm gonna give you a call later so we can talk personally.
All right.
But thank you for giving me a call, and thank you for tuning into the show, man. Big Rich the Ruler.
All right, no problem, man.
Peace, man. I'm gonna call you later.
All right, yeah, hit me up.
All right. Yeah, man. When I had my first TV show, he was one of the first people that did the producing. That's the one when I did Nelly, 50 Cent, Cameron, Big Pun, everybody. When I first got in the game, he was my producer for this show, man. But Al, let's get to something else, and then I'm gonna get just a couple of songs. Hey Al, so you know I got the Love Doctor dating site, right?
You got what?
You know I got the Love Doctor dating site. So it's been about 3 to 4 months that I started this Love Doctor dating site on Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, so Al, the first week or two, I started it. It started out slow. It's something like Black People's Meat or Plenty of Fish, But Al, let me tell you the funniest thing that's going on right now. Women are coming on this site and they're asking me to introduce them to men who I feel that's appropriate for them. Right, Al? They send me like a little bio.
Right.
They send me pictures and all that stuff. So in the last week, Al, it seems like the younger women, I'm talking about ages from like, say, 25 to like 32. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I got 2 this week that tagged on. They're looking for older men. They don't want nobody in their age groups, and I'm talking about these girls are young models looking pretty. So one girl, she was so pretty, I said, this must be a catfish because there's no way that you're having a problem meeting men. It's no way that you should be having a problem meeting men, right? Mm-hmm. But the people that are hitting me are people that you would never believe. Al, I swear to you, I'm gonna show you after the end of the show some of the pictures, some of the people who's chiming in on me that's looking for love. Now, I had to do a lot of thinking about this. I did my research on it, and I told you last week I fell back off of it because I don't want to be the one to introduce somebody to somebody and something happen. You get what I'm saying, Al?
Right.
All that falls back on me.
Right.
So I fell back off of it. But 2 young ladies this week, they hit me up and they was like, yo, I'm looking, and they from out of town, and they was like, I'm looking for this in a relationship, I'm looking for this. So the 2 questions that I always ask a lady when they hit on my date site is, are you looking for a sugar daddy, because you keep saying older men, or are you looking for a father figure? And both of them, I mean, like I said, as we go on with it, Al, because I'm telling you, it started out with maybe like 10 or 15 women hitting me up. I'm over 100 ladies, Al, within 3 months hitting me up looking for a dating partner. Now, 2 things I want you to answer. Like I said, the 2 things that I've always asked the ladies that, are you looking for a sugar daddy or are you looking for a father figure? That's one. I want you to answer that, what you think the women are saying. And why are the younger ladies, and I'm talking, these ladies are between 25 and 32. First of all, like I tell them, the first thing I tell them is, I would never date anybody or anybody in that age, that age era. That's just not me. I would never do that. So why are y'all ladies of these ages looking for these type of situations? So I'm gonna need you to come back right now and tell me what you're feeling.
Well, it sounds to me like, the men of their age is not giving them what they're looking for. And they believe that an older gentleman, might be able to fill the void that they've been missing in whatever they've been receiving from the guys their own age.
Okay, now I got some women that's online right now. Okay, so Samantha's saying they're not looking for neither. So what is it that they're seeking out? Because, I mean, once again, when you go on these dating sites, you never know what you're going to get yourself into. That's one thing. Mm-hmm. You never know the age group that you're going to get yourself into. So when you're going on these sites, you're taking a chance at just on anything. But when you're that age between 25, I'm gonna say 25 to 35, and you're looking for a man that's 50 and 60 years old, it has to be something that you're missing out there. And to me, I think it's more of a father figure, because men are not just giving out money like that no more these days, like they used to. Men used to just, an older man would give a younger lady money and that would be the game. You know what I'm saying? Right. But men are not doing that as much no more. So what are you really thinking that these, okay, so now she's saying they're looking for, let me take off my shades now, because I'm getting some answers here. All right, so they're saying that they're looking for comfortability. Do you believe that, Al?
Yeah, I would believe that, because times are hard right now. So if you got somebody who's stable financially and mentally and physically, then why not?
Wow.
Why not?
Al, 25 to 35 and you're dating somebody 55 to 60? Why not?
I mean, really, to me, age is a number. It's really what's in your spirit, man. Especially if you're a healthy, 50, 60-year-old person, and you don't look it, To each his own, man. People gravitate towards each other because what they feel for each other. Whether it's a spiritual connection, whether it's a physical connection, or whether it's a mental connection.
Okay.
They have so many different ways why they're attracted to that person.
Okay, so Samantha, she's hitting me again. Once again, she's saying the same thing, comfortability. So let me ask you something, Samantha. And okay, who else is chiming in? James Simpson, what up, boy? What up, Simpson? Tammy, they're all commenting on this. Dee Dee, hey Dee Dee, what's going on? Lisa, Miss Lee, how y'all all doing? So let me ask y'all all a question then. If you had a 25-year-old daughter between 25 and 35 years old, and they came home and I'm talking to you too, Al, and they came home with the man that's 20 years older than them, how would you receive that man? Al?
Oh, you want me to answer that?
Yes.
Okay, as long as my daughter is comfortable and that's where her heart is, I don't have no problem with that. Because you can't tell other people who to love. You can't tell them how to love, no matter what age it is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As long as they realize that, this individual is going to get older, okay, but when you're in your 60s, that he's going to be in his 80s if he gets the chance to live that long. So again, you got to understand whether you're willing to put forth the sacrifices if he gets sick or something, or gets so old that you have to tend to this person every day.
Okay. Now let me tell you something that was funny on a dating site. One of the young ladies was somebody who I used to date when I was in the 20s, Al, right? And she said,
"You was in your 20s at one time?"
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Really?
In my 20s, it's a young lady. One of the young ladies that hit me up, and she said one of the craziest things I've ever heard. She said, "Rich, I would rather for you to hook me up because you know how to love me. We've been together. You know what I like in a man. So what type of man would you describe for me?" And I texted her back and said, "I feel kind of funny about you asking me to hook you up with somebody else up on my dating site because we've dated." She said, "I'm wrong for that. This is a business, so you should look at it as a business." Who's
right.
wrong? Who's wrong in that one, Al?
She said it.
Whoa, Al, hold on now.
Listen. Either you running a business or you doing a personal thing.
No, that's
right?
not personal. No.
But she asked a question. Okay, you have a dating site.
Right.
She's asking you through your dating site to hook her up. Okay. So again,
but this is somebody that I dealt with, Al.
It doesn't matter, Rich. This is business.
Okay.
This is business. So if that's what you do in your business, it doesn't matter who it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to a little break, and we're gonna. I like the fact that everybody's chiming in. Virginia, Brother Love, what's going on? Miss Lee, what's going on? Samantha, how you doing? Dee Dee, how you doing? Simpson, what's going on? Pop from the barber shop, how you doing? Who else is on the line? Tanya, what's going on, Tanya? Who else? Lisa, how you doing, Lisa? Vivian, Anita, how you doing, Anita? Okay, Cheryl Brown, CB in the building. All right, so Al, we're gonna hit them. I wasn't able to download those songs last night, so
so this is what we're gonna do today, Rich. I'm just gonna play some stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna play
that's gonna give us some thought. Okay.
Your thoughts are my thoughts because we think different. We definitely totally think different. So these are your thoughts or my thoughts?
No, just not even my thoughts. Just so that we could think. Okay, when you hear the title of these songs, okay, just listen to the title of the songs and think about the times that we're living in.
And then we're gonna come back.
Yeah, we'll come back.
All right, so nobody go nowhere. All right, we're gonna do it like this.
Times are changing. If you had a choice of colors, which one would you choose, my brothers? If there was no day or night, which would you prefer to be right? How long have you hated your white teacher? Who told you you love your black preacher? Do you respect your brother's woman friend and share with black folks not of kin? People must prove to the people a better day is coming for you and for me, with just a little bit more education and love for our nation would make a better society. Now some of us would rather cuss and make a fuss than to bring about a little trust. But we shall overcome, I believe, someday, if you'll only listen to what I have to say. And how long have you hated your white teacher? Who told you you love your black preacher? Can you respect your brother's woman friend and share with black folks not of kin? I say now people must prove to the people a better day is coming for you and for me, with just a little bit more education and love for our nation would make a better society. And if you had a choice of colors, which one would you choose, my brothers? If there was no day or night.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now Al, you said you're gonna play some songs, and what's the first thing that comes to your mind through
Right.
those songs? What's
So,
the first
so
thing
the first one was changing times. Okay, so if we think about where we're at right now in the state of our nation and how we're living through this COVID epidemic, through everything that's so challenging right now, with the shootings, with people not sure about whether they could trust the law enforcement, whether we could trust the government and doing the right thing, who's going to take care of our people, and all these times, these things, the change that has come about, and it's a dramatic change. How do we function during these times?
The second song?
The second song is Choice of Colors, right? So, again, we're dealing with a systemic level of racism right now, right? And a lot of times, we who are the victims don't understand that we are racist too in our own mindset. Okay, the way we look at things, the things that we are prejudiced against, the way we treat each other. You know what I mean? So I think that it comes a time where we got to be conscious, and we got to start educating each other, and just praying and hoping that we as a people can come together and turn this whole thing around. Because really, that last song is by a great musician by the name of well, it was a group was the Impressions, but the lead singer was Curtis Mayfield, and he was a real conscious dude, man. But he hit it on the nail, and this is a '70s song. You know what I mean? And it has a lot to do with what we're dealing with today.
Okay, now I want to give some birthday shout outs, Al. We got a lot of birthdays. We got Morel. Morel's
What's
on the
up,
line.
Mo? Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Morel. Virginia birthdays this week. She's on the line. So happy birthday, Virginia. Samantha's on the line. Her birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday, Samantha. Miss Jones. Me, Miss Jones, and my cousin Buddha. All our birthdays are next Saturday, the 27th. And they're all on the line. Brother Love is on the line. So I just want to say happy birthday to all the cancers. It's about to be cancer season. You know we turn up. I had a big birthday party that I had planned, but it had to be canceled because of this situation. But cousin Dale, how you doing? Cousin Shell's on the line, yo.
Cousin Shell, what's good?
What up? I just want to say, Al, man, like I said, when you play these songs and you get people to think about things, like when you just said the word, when people start talking about racial situations, I really don't think that we would ever have a racial war, because you got more white people that are rolling with black people these days. Like, if you look at that whole riot situation, and you looked at all the situations that was going on, there was a lot of a lot of white people protesting as well. You know, bad cop, good cop, they was protesting. So I just think that if we get, once again, we have to get somebody who's for us in office. Somebody who's gonna be about the situation. I mean, it's hard right now because when you look at what we got going on as far as this is election year and all that stuff and all that, who's gonna help us, what we're gonna do. Right now, we're in a situation where, like they said, if you don't vote and you don't, take care of business, we're gonna have a real big problem soon come down the line. This COVID situation, Al, was an eye-opener for everybody.
Absolutely.
It's definitely an eye-opener for everybody. They said allegedly Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, they're getting hit with the numbers now.
Right.
And those are the hot climates, people didn't really take this serious because they wasn't seeing what was going on. Very hot in Arizona, very hot in Florida, North Carolina. So they're starting to see what we seen, Al. But are they prepared for what they're about to get hit with, Al? We wasn't even prepared, but we're a little bit more prepared than they are.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think is going to happen now that it's hitting into these states where I don't feel like they're going to be ready for this? What do you feel about that?
Well, the good thing about it is that the death rate is not hitting those other states the way it hit us when this thing hit. Okay, what they're doing is showing you the number of people who's coming down with COVID and how it's increasing. But the critical stage of it isn't like what we had to deal with.
Right.
And that's the only difference.
I'm one of my brothers on the line right now. My brother Jeff, and he had COVID, and it scared me to death because I had spoken to him one of the days where he was really sick, and I really had to he was like, yo, bro, I'm good, but I could hear it that he wasn't really good. So I called the ambulance, and then the ambulance, they came, they checked him out, and he was okay. He was okay, but it's just the fact of the scary part of the people when it gets close to you like that. That's a brother of mine. God forbid something happened to my brother, yo. I couldn't handle that. But this COVID situation, people are not taking it serious, Al. Like, let me tell you something. When I go home from work at night, and you see the amount of people that's in the streets, Al, with no mask on, partying, music everywhere, they out there dancing. They had it on Channel 12 News this week, Al. Channel 12 News this week, where how people are partying and not taking this COVID situation is serious. Like I said, when they get close to home, it takes for it to get close to home for people to take something serious.
Right. But
My brother, that's my brother. Like when he called me, and I heard it in his voice.
Right.
He didn't have to call it no more.
Right.
I heard in his voice. I called the ambulance out. I
Right.
said, "Yo, no. Let's get the ambulance over there and let them tell me different."
right.
So, like I said, this COVID. What up, Wayne? This COVID situation is serious, but people are not taking it serious until it gets close to home, Al.
Well, let me tell you why. And this is something that I think everybody's missing at this point. When this COVID thing first hit, the first thing the clinical people in the CDC was telling you is that it could not survive in heat,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that seed was planted in a lot of people's heads. So as soon as the weather got warm, people started letting their guards down, and they start gathering again. And the weather gets real hot, there's a few days it's been really humid out there, and they like, oh, I can't be affected because they said it can't survive in heat. But again, they put that thing out there not knowing exactly how this virus really affects the body.
And like you said, they have this this thing.
Antibody testing,
The
right?
antibody testing now that they're doing in the hospitals, some hospitals, where they're taking your blood
Right.
and they can tell you that if you had it or if you haven't had it, if you was negative or you was positive.
Right.
Now a lot of people are taking this thing out. My thing with taking that is, okay, so if you had it and you didn't know and it's gone, what is the sense of, what is this whole thing about? You want to know that you had it, or you want to know? What makes
it's really an awareness and a data and a documenting type situation, because now they could look at the actual numbers and the survival rate based on that. It's the same thing with the flu. Like a lot of people don't take the flu for serious, but the flu can kill you. So again, they did the same thing with the flu in the beginning until it got to a point where they had enough data and enough information to come up with a vaccine to know how to ward this thing off. You know what I mean? But still, if you have a poor immune system, if you're not healthy, even the flu can get to you and kill you. You know what I mean? So again, it's just a matter of them gathering that information so that they'll have a better way to educate us on what this thing really is.
Okay, so they saying, what up, Tommy? Tommy, I definitely need to get you up here to the station. You playing, yo. Stop playing. Tommy, I need to holler at you at the end of the show. But, Al, so what they're saying is we're going to get a second wave of this. Come maybe like November, December. I'm figuring and I'm feeling by that time, you're talking 4 to 5 more months from now, they should have a better way to deal with this situation, don't you think?
Well, here's the thing. They don't have a cure for it. If they had a cure for it, then yeah, this thing could be wiped out and called a day. But they still trying to get the antibodies to put together so they can create a vaccine that maybe they can create a cure for it so that this thing doesn't affect the community anymore.
Okay, so do you think it's going to be a second wave of it?
I don't think it's so much of a second wave, but when the weather starts changing again, okay, that virus is going to manifest itself because there's people that's walking around with it. And if you're not taking precautions, if you're not wearing masks, if you're not washing your hands, if you're not doing taking the guidelines and the processes that's already set up to keep you healthy, then yeah, there's going to be a number of people who don't listen, just like you're seeing right now, who's going to come down with it. Is it going to be detrimental? I don't think it's going to be detrimental because I think the heavy form of that virus is taking its course.
Okay.
That's why you see a lot of people testing positive, but they're not as sick. Or they're walking around with the symptoms and they feel normal.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So now let's get into once again these situations with these police situation again. So like I said, we talked about the one in Louisville where they went to the lady's house and the person was already in custody. We talked about the one in ATL.
Right.
Another shooting where wrongful death. This Rikers Island situation. So allegedly this week, an inmate was able to be in the rec room, got by the rec wall, jumped over the wall into the water, and he was apprehended right away. But it was a slip up on the correction officer system that this person was able to do that. Okay, who is more at fault for this? Is it the correction officers? Is it the facility that they're able to let us do this? Is it the inmates getting together and trying to figure out a way that they're able to get out all these situations? Who's at fault and who's going to be in trouble for this situation?
So first and foremost, the department itself should be held accountable, because there should be no way that any inmate should be able to climb over a wall and leave Rikers Island. Okay, and if they do scale a wall or do whatever they're doing, okay, that wall should be so high that by the time that person gets to the top of that wall, okay, they've already stopped him from doing what he needed to do.
Okay.
Okay, so of course the tools weren't in place to prevent this thing.
Okay.
Okay. The staffing, the number of officers to inmates is crazy. Okay, they're outnumbered as it is. So all inmates have to do is create a distraction where all the officers run to that distraction, and then that inmate who's looking to get away, if he sees the opportunity, he can jet or bolt. Okay, because they tied up with other stuff.
Okay.
You know, so again, that's why it's important that when you respond, you don't send everybody, and you keep people at your vital places or vital entrances or exits so that people aren't just walking out the door.
Now, they was talking about closing down Rikers Island. Are they not talking about closing down Rikers Island?
Yeah, they were talking about it. I think there's a plan in place to shut down the island altogether. I haven't really been in contact with anybody over there lately to find out what the details of it is. But I do know that a lot of officers and people that's on that job are retiring and leaving because it's not a good place to be right now.
Okay, so now, what happens, like, okay, now I know that when a COVID patient on the island catches it, right? Because, you know, they're all confined, they're all together. So how does that go about? When they get the COVID, they bring them to the hospitals, the nearest hospitals?
Well, all jails have like a small clinic or whatever, okay? And when an inmate gets that sick, they do what's called a hospital run. So the closest or nearest hospital to that facility is where they would take them. As far as the treatment that they get and how long they're going to be at that spot is no telling. Okay, but they will put an officer or two, or sometimes two officers and a captain will sit on that inmate until he's released and discharged to go back into the system.
Okay, so now you everybody's saying, Al, turn your mic up just a little bit. So now, Al, okay, so when you're an officer and you're one officer, because this happens even at the job sometimes when you're outnumbered. Okay, you're outnumbered as an officer, and you got, say, 5 to 6 to 7 inmates that you have to watch. How is it because of there's less of staffing that you don't have enough staffing on the island? You don't have enough staffing on the island and the inmate gets away. How is it the officer's fault on Rikers Island?
Well, it's not so much about it being the officer's fault. It's about you not following guidelines and procedures. Again, there's a training mechanism. There's processes in place to prevent a lot of that stuff from happening.
Okay.
So you can't be lackadaisical on the job and think that because yesterday nothing happened that you could just chill today.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, every day those inmates are watching you. They watch you move. They watch how you do things because they're always going to look for an out.
Okay.
Always going to look for an out, and they'll try you, or they'll try to distract you. Again, you got to be on your P's and Q's. It's about not trusting anything they tell you, but also trying to make sure that you following everything to the letter. As long as you follow everything to the letter and you can document your whereabouts and what you've done, then you're good. But if there's any break in that process, then you're going to have a problem.
Okay. I copy that. Now, once again, everybody's climbing in. Nicole, how you doing? Miss Virginia, how you doing? Samantha, once again, Virginia, Morel, myself, Miss D, My boy Todd the Barber. Everybody's tuning in. Everybody's cancer season. We here, yo. We about to take over the game for a couple of months. You know what I mean? We about to do what we do. We need to all get together, have one big barbecue, and then call it a day, yo. Because I was not able to do my birthday party this year. And my cousin Jeff, he's not going to do his barbecue this year. So maybe next year we'll do even bigger and better. Okay, so Al.
Yep.
So now I have to talk to you about some church stuff real quick. Okay, so we're going to the house for a second. So they're saying that preachers these days are not getting involved politically enough for this next election that's coming up. What do you feel about that? Do you feel that that's a preacher or a minister or somebody's situation where they should be getting to the point where they're getting involved politically after they become a minister? Is that another step that they can go? Or if you have like these big congregations, you have thousands and thousands of people coming to your church every week, should that be something they talk about in church, political stuff?
Well, again, if you know anything about the state and the church, there's always been a division and a separation. Okay, in other words, the church shouldn't step on the state's toes, and the state shouldn't step on the church's toes. Right? So, but here's the thing: in most churches, they have outreach programs that might have a voting drive situation with it, or that might have a community-based situation with it. Okay, and those are the times that they come together and educate the members on voting and what's going on in the community and things of that nature.
Okay.
But as far as being on the pulpit and then want to talk about, y'all should go out and vote, that's not what the pulpit is used for.
Okay. Now I'm glad. Whoa, look at this, Al. People are chiming in on what you said earlier. Let's check Al. That's right. Let's check Al. Thank you. So I have a young lady on here said, Al, I understand what you're saying, Rich, about your dating site, about hooking someone that you was with up with somebody else. Okay. I just need that to be known that other people are feeling the same way that I'm feeling.
But it's a business. You can't run a business and then be biased because of somebody that you know you don't want to hook them up. That's not how business. That's like somebody coming to you and they bought a car from you years ago and they were a friend of yours and they never paid you for the car. But now you got a car dealership and you doing your thing and they come to you and want to buy a car.
Okay.
You're not going to try to hook them up?
That's an example that you want to throw at me?
Yeah,
now?
yes, it's business.
Serious?
It's business.
Okay.
It's business.
Okay. And another young lady just hit me up just now. She said, what is the dating site she wants to go to it? So once again, if you have
So you're getting some customers today.
Yeah, man. If you're on Instagram, it's the Love Doctors dating site. The Love Doctors dating site. And you throw a little bio up there. You send me a picture too. But like I told everybody, I'm a little nervous about this because once again, the situation come up if I hook somebody up with somebody and it goes wrong. So a friend of mine said that I should look into a lawyer and have people, sign off on, whatever happens. Now, could that happen now? Or because I'm nervous about this situation. What? Give me some advice. What you think I should do about it?
You can have something set up where they sign off on a disclosure that you're not held accountable for whatever happens.
Okay.
Even just joining the site, there could be a disclosure that they have to sign off on.
Yeah, that's what I should
wouldn't
do.
Wouldn't affect you.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, Al. Because Al, I'm telling you, on this site, I'm gonna show you the pictures, Al. All of these women are coming on this site. And they're like, yo, Rich, hook me up with this type of guy and this type of guy. Truthfully, out of 120 members, I think I got maybe only 15 guys. Everybody else are women. Women sending pictures. I even had this was crazy. I even had a woman want me to hook her up with a woman, Al. I don't know. I mean, it's funny, yo. This dating thing is real. It's real funny. And as well as
See, but Rich, I said something to you a long time ago when it comes to business, right?
Here we go.
Before you extend that long arm out there, man, and start a business, you got to do the research, man.
Okay.
You got to look at every avenue. You got to ask all the questions.
And you know,
you got to look at all the things that could or could not happen.
You know,
and then you make a decision on whether you want to go forward and do that.
Okay, and all right, now that's true. But when I started it, right? Truthfully, when I started it was me and Lady Grace. We was just talking about this one day. So we just made a little site, and I threw it up there. And I forgot about it. And one day I went on Instagram, and I see that you have new members on your site. And I'm like, oh, snap. So I clicked over to it, and I'm like, I can't believe the number of people that was on there. I forgot about it for a minute, Al.
Mm-hmm.
And I should, during that course of time, you're right, I should have been doing my homework on it. I should have been doing my homework, and I'm starting to do more homework on it. Like you said, have people sign up the clothing when they come in, or just even coming on the site, so I won't get myself caught up in anything.
Right.
That's why I haven't even started by hooking anybody up with somebody, because I really don't. I had to do the whole situation of doing the homework on it. But just to see how many attractive young ladies out here, Al, are not in relationships, it is ridiculous. I'm talking about some of the most beautiful queens out here. I'm not talking about just black girls. There's Spanish girls on there, there's white girls on there, and they're like, yo, Rich, I'm looking for love in the right places. And I'm like, wow. So it shows you that a lot of men out here are not really doing the right thing when it comes to relationships. One of my favorite shows I watch on TV is called Cheaters. I watch Cheaters a lot, Al.
Right.
And it's so many women who are in love with men, and the men are not doing the right things, and they're getting caught up, and it's just, this game right now is just so different, Al. Mm-hmm. This love game is just so different. Right. And you sit back and you watch it, and you watch the things that people do. It's really crazy sometimes, Al. It's really crazy. Mm-hmm. But like I said, as far as this dating site, when these people hit me up, like I said, this girl, the two girls this week that I did, went back and forth talking with them as far as that, they are so young, Al, that I couldn't even fathom an older man being with these young ladies. Like, Al, that's the part of the game I just can't see.
Well, let me help you with that. And here's a real easy way to handle that in your mental, because I know how it looks from the physical, but we talking about two consenting adults. Nobody's forcing your hand to do anything. Nobody's threatening you to do anything. Whatever conversations they may have, whatever they talk about, still it's two consenting adults. If they meet eye to eye, then it should be all right.
My thing is, okay, my cousin Jeff said he disagreed. I want him to text me and explain what he's disagreeing about. Mm-hmm. So Jeff, explain to me what you're disagreeing about. And Al, I understand that. But my whole thing, Al, is because every woman has a father.
Right.
And I always, in every relationship I have ever been in, I've always thought about the parent. Now, perfect example. My cousin that's on the line right now, my brother Jeff, he's on the line. He's watching the show right now. Mm-hmm. So he always got on me about relationships, where he always say, "Oh, Rich, 'cause like say I met a girl, and I found out that you used to talk to her, Al.
Right.
I wouldn't talk to that girl.
Okay. So
my brother Jeff used to say, yo, you're crazy, because if another man had a chance to get at your girl, he's gonna get at your girl. And that's like a glass half empty, a glass half full.
Right.
I see what he's saying, but I just never been like that.
Right, but your values is different.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying about as younger ladies and older men. I look at it as, imagine she said, well, let's go to a family get together. And you go to the family get together.
He got kids older than her.
And you got kids. I have a 32-year-old daughter. So now this girl is 26, 27 years old.
Right.
And she's saying she wants me to hook her up or something like that. I feel uncomfortable with that. Like I said, imagine you going to a family barbecue with a woman who's 20 to 30 years younger than you. How do you feel when you walking into them people?
Well, again, it's really based on the individuals, you know. The fact that, because of course you know already I'm older than you or she's younger than him, whatever it may be, you know, if they decide to hook up and then they want to be out in public showing people that they're in a relationship and whatever, that's really on them. Here's my thing. If anybody can find happiness in another person, I'm all for it.
Okay. So you're going to try to tell me,
Yeah,
your
me.
daughter came into the house with a man that's 30 years older than her, you ain't going to have no type of feeling.
Nope. I'm gonna have a conversation with him about the expectations on how he should be treating my daughter. But if my daughter tell me, Daddy's good, I don't have a problem with him, I love him, this is where I want to be, I'm not gonna upset my daughter's life. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be happy for her because she's happy. It's not my space to make that choice. As long as he's respectable to her, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. I feel some type of way about that, Al. But
So here, let me ask you something. So let's say
I know what you're going to say before you say it.
no. Let's say you met this woman, right? She's attractive. She's beautiful. Y'all talking, and y'all kind of go out because she look like she's young to you. Come to find out, y'all hitting it off. Everything is wonderful. Y'all finally have a conversation about age and where you've been. She tell you she's 65 years old, right? And let's say you are 45. Do you cut the relationship off right there, or do you give it a chance?
Okay, Al, I get what you're saying.
Just answer the question.
If the lady was older than me and I thought she was younger, that's what you're saying?
Yeah. Y'all just was trying to, you got to know each other, friendship, whatever, and then y'all realize, yeah, I'm attracted to you, I'm you, blah, blah. Now she's like, well, I'm such and such. Do you cut it off?
Al,
See,
no.
you don't have no answer for me, Al. See,
I
here's the thing. If you had an answer for me, then I say, bro, all right, you right. But you don't have no answer
don't.
for me
I don't. You know why I
because
don't? You know why?
because I know that there's been similar situations for you in that. They might not have been that older than you, but you met people who are older, and it really didn't matter about the age. They just had a beautiful spirit, and you were attracted to that.
okay. What about, they hit me up, what about dating somebody at your workplace? What do you feel about that?
Well, in the workplace, the problem with that is that somebody's always going to be in your business. You know what I mean? And it's kind of difficult, especially if you have somebody that's always listening to other people. It's going to be difficult for you to have a strong relationship in that type of environment. Because people are going to always be saying something. Like, let's take it if it was you, right? You and your girl work in the same place.
Why you always throwing me?
Because it makes it easier for me.
You just kill me with you always
It's all
throwing
right,
me out
man.
there.
It's all right. But let's say it's you and your girl work in the same spot, right?
I met her there. Let's get the whole picture.
Hold on. But I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something.
Meet her there. We came together. Well, how we did it?
You met her there. You met her there, right? But you are a sociable person.
Right.
You know a lot of people, Rich.
Right.
A lot of the women are like, yo, that's my man, Big Rich. They want to hug you,
Right.
give you a kiss, whatever. And then there's the haters. Oh, I saw your man hugging up with this chick. Every time she come around, he hugging and kissing on her. So imagine if somebody plants that seed into your partner and they continuously saying stuff to them. What does that do to your relationship?
Okay, I understand that what you're saying, Al. My questions to you sometime are yes or no, and you got to go all the way around the block instead of coming through the block.
Because sometimes things ain't that simple.
Okay.
Things ain't that simple.
Okay. Would you date somebody at your workplace?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Would you ever date a boss? A woman
No.
who's a boss?
No.
I ain't saying your boss.
No.
I said a boss.
A boss?
A boss.
Oh, in the workplace? In my workplace?
No, not
We talking about the workplace still, right?
No, we're not talking about at our workplace. Just a boss. She's a boss.
Okay, yeah, that's nothing wrong. I got a problem with that.
You don't have a problem with that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you have a problem?
Is that person a gangster? I mean, they selling drugs. They got blocks out there. They got the whole East Coast locked down, and their boss. I might have a problem with that because if she a target, then I'm a target.
Okay. Would you? Okay, we done answered that question.
Right.
Okay. So now, let me ask you another situation.
Rich, let me let the people know these are hypotheticals that he's asking.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of hypotheticals. Hypotheticals. Would you date somebody? Now this. Would you date somebody that you knew one of your fellas done dated?
No.
Because of what?
I just can't do it.
My team does it.
I know they do.
My team, and they on the line right now. My team does it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine for them.
Okay, but the reason now you wouldn't do it because of what?
Because I just don't feel it's right. That's just me personally. I don't think that it's right that I'm with somebody that my man was with, or my man's with somebody that I was with, and then it's an uncomfortable feeling to be around people like that, knowing that y'all was intimate at one time, and you certain things that y'all might have been through together or you struggled through together, and now those things might still hurt a little bit. You might be carrying some of those burdens. You might not be able to move on with your life properly because of whatever you dealt with that person in that relationship, and you still trying to build from that and get better in that. But to see her with somebody else that that you cool with, and are they talking about what we did and how we did it, and are they comparing their relationship to what we had, and there's so many things that could go through somebody's mind.
Okay.
Okay,
let me ask you, what does Father's Day mean to you, my brother? And happy Father's Day to you, first of all.
Same to you, my brother.
All
Same
right.
to you.
What does Father's Day mean to you?
To me, Father's Day is truly the day that you could say to your dad, thanks for covering me and loving me.
Now, let's say one of your children didn't call you on Father's Day. Would you feel some type of way?
No, not at all.
So it's just another day to you?
No, I wouldn't say it's just another day, but, I don't know what their life, that day for them entails. They could be doing anything, or they could have been like real busy during the day. Like their mindset was, I'm going to call dad in the morning. Then they got so busy, and then it got too late. Oh, I know dad's sleeping. I'm sorry. I'll call him tomorrow. You know what I mean? I don't let these holidays that is set up by the government affect me in my relationship with my family.
Okay.
Because I know how they feel about me.
Okay.
So it don't take a Father's Day for me to know how my children feel about me or my grandchildren.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I go along with it when they call me, Happy Father's Day, thank you.
Okay.
Am I looking for it? No, I'm not looking for it.
Okay. Do you think that Father's Day to a man means as much as a woman when it's Mother's Day?
Of course not. All the bells and whistles go out on Mother's Day. Okay. But I don't mind getting socks for Father's Day. You know what I mean? I don't mind getting a pair of socks for Father's Day.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to play 2 more songs. And then after we play these 2 songs, we're going to wrap it up and get ready for the Violators. I'm going to come back with one more relationship situation. What up, Joffrey? What up, homie? And come to work Monday with a better mind, Ja. I'm not playing. Oh, my man Vito. What up, white boy? I see you watching. Let's play 2 songs. We're going to come back with one more little love situation. And then we're going to close the show out, okay?
Great. Here we go.
This is Headliner from Arrested Development, and right now you're in the midst of a celebration of life, death, and the struggles of our ancestors. Check it out. Let me hear you say, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah. I was pleased. My day was going great and my soul was at ease until a group of brothers started bugging out, drinking the 40 ounce, going the nigga out, disrespecting my black queen, holding their crosses and being obscene. At first I ignored them, cause see I know the type. They got drunk, they got guns, and yes they wanna fight. And they see a young couple having a time that's good, and the Eagles wanna test the brother's manhood. So they came to test me cause of my heritage and the loud bright colors that I wear. I was a target cause I'm a fashion misfit, and the outfit that I'm wearing, brothers dissing it. Well, I stay calm and pray the niggas leave me be, but they squeeze the parts of my date's anatomy. Why, Lord, you brothers have to drill me? Cause if I stop to hit this man, they'll have to kill me. You see, I am everyday people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see, I am everyday people. I told the niggas, please let us pass friends. I said please cause I don't like killing Africans. But he wouldn't stop, and I ain't Ice Cube. But I had to take the brother out for being rude. And like I said before, I was mad by then. It took 3 or 4 cops to pull me off of him. But that's the story, y'all, of a black man acting like a nigga stomped by an African. You see,
I want to give a shout out to Ingrid Campbell. How you doing? You already know. Mean Gene, what up, boy? Mean Gene, I need to holler at you too, Mean Gene. Dawn, what's going on? Dawn Michelle, how you doing? Alex, what's going on? So Ingrid just hit me up and said, yeah, Big Rich, you better do your homework, yo. So I'm gonna do my homework this week, Al, man, and see what I'm gonna do about this little Big Rich dating site, yo.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do some more homework on it, and I'm gonna see what kind of contract I can get for people before they even come on the site. Before they come on the site, where they'll be able to drop something where I can be covered, because like she said, I don't want this to go left for me. But y'all ladies, y'all keep sending your pictures to my DM. The Love Big Rich dating site. It's off the chain right now. It's been about 3 months. I have over 120 members. I need some more fellas, because the ladies are looking for that real love. And y'all gotta hit me up. That Mary J. Blige, real love. Mean Gene, what up, boy? It's my brother right there. Dawn Michelle, what's going on? Karen, how you doing? Ingrid, what's going on? Alex, what's going on? Hey, Dawn. Samantha, happy birthday once again. Tracy, how you doing? Joffrey, what's going on? Carolina, Claudia, how y'all doing? Samantha, once again, happy birthday to you. Morel, happy birthday. Jeff Parker, what up, boy, family right there. Cousin John, what up? Cindy, Cousin Shell, what's up, Cousin Shell?
Cousin Shell.
You already know how you do up here. Virginia, what's going on? Ebony, thanks for tuning in. Ty the Barber, Pop from the Barber Shop. Simpson, what's going on? Nicole, how you doing? I'm just giving everybody a shout out before we get up the air, Al. And then Tommy Guns, yo, you better get up here, yo. Stop playing. Vonda, how you doing? So next week, it's officially my birthday. Next Saturday, the next show that I do up here will be my birthday, June 27th. So I'm gonna do a little something up here, though. I got a little special guest DJ coming through next week. So we got a little DJ next week. We probably get a little cake or something going on up here. And we're going to try to just do a little something. You know, we ain't going to do nothing too big, Al. We ain't going to do it too big because, you know, we still got to, stay 6 feet and all that.
Right.
I want to give a shout out to Santi and Pro.
Yes, absolutely.
Santi and Pro. I want to thank you for another job, another good week. Well done, Lil Al. And I want to get ready for the Violators. You know, we got to get the room set up and everything for the Violators. And I'm gonna say a little prayer this week, man. Al, what you think?
I like to hear that, man.
Yeah,
I don't
want to just take it into a prayer. I just want to give thanks to the Lord above for blessing me and my family, our listeners, everybody who tunes in. I just want to thank everybody for staying COVID clear. I want everybody to please wear your mask, wash your hands, keep that going. Keep everybody who needs prayer in prayer. Keep God first in your life. And basically love people who loves you. All right? This is Big Rich the Ruler on the Big Rich the Ruler show. Next week, tune in from 1 to 3. It's the Big Rich birthday bash. Y'all get ready for that. We're going to have a special guest DJ. We're going to play some music up here. I know you're going to try to come off on me a little something. I'm going to say it. My laptop situation still ain't come through yet, so I'm not able to get my DJing going on up here yet.
Here we go.
Yo, Al, man,
You've been threatening me. You've been threatening me, man, for almost 3 years now, man.
Yo, Al, once again, matter of fact, next week when the special guest DJ is here, I'm gonna take a half an hour off of there. And I'm gonna get on the ones and twos.
Okay, we're gonna see what you got.
Man,
we'll see what you got.
Me, yo. I do what I do.
All right,
I do
we'll
what
see.
I does. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Don't play with me.
You gonna have your contacts on that day so you can see?
I'm keep the shades on. You know I do.
Right.
I get the shade things from my. Matter of fact, I'm glad he's on. I'm glad he's watching. I get the shade things from my brother, Big Gino, man.
All right.
I mean, Gene, he told me you got to wear the shades all the time. You know, you never let somebody supposed to be able to look in your eyes. Right away. You know, that don't supposed to happen, yo. You got to keep the shades on, man. They don't let them know what you're thinking. So once again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Me and Gene, I'll be down south in a couple of weeks, man. We got to get together, man. It's been a while since we got together, so we got to do some things. Dawn, Michelle, hey, how you doing once again? And I just want to thank everybody who tuned in once again. And Al, I want to thank you once again for being here for High
welcome.
Access
You're welcome.
Radio. We're 5 years strong, and we're going to keep it moving. Hey, G, how you doing? Samantha, how you doing? Oh, I got to give a special shout out to Karen, to Val, to Keisha. Who else is tagging me up right now? My man OB Music, the Deuce Crew. What up, y'all? I spoke to my man with the Mingles situation, and we working on some things to get Mingles back open soon, man. So everybody, I just want to say, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Another good week of I Access Radio, Big Mr. Ruler Show. Check me out next week. Once again, we're gonna go Memorex. We're going live next week, live at 1 o'clock sharp. I'm gonna try to get my sisters to hang out with me a little bit too. Lady Grace, Lady D. Get a little cake going on up here. Pop a couple of bottles and keep it moving. All right. Yo, Al, we out here?
Yeah, we ready, man.
All right. Thank everybody for tuning in. I'm out of here.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.